Okay, let's watch this.
It's like any
Let me pause
normal
this.
9 to 5 job, kind of, but you're playing video games the whole time. It's supposed to be the dream, everyone says,
Yeah.
and
That's literally what I was
I
saying.
mean, it
Yeah,
really
hang
weighs.
on. Let me pop out the chat so I can watch you guys react. Where's the pop out? Fuck. Oh, here we go.
Bears down on you over time. Like waking up, you do very similar stuff every single day, right? Like you can only play the game so many different ways. So you end up start playing the game in similar ways, and you're talking literally nonstop while you're streaming. So that's 6 hours a day of me playing the same game and talking about the same stuff every day. And there's the same memes happening in the chat, and you have to like read and interact with this chat where most of the time is filled with lots of memes. And if you're new to streaming, lots of toxicity, especially if you're new because you just like won a tournament or whatever. Then people are always
Hey, you
like
guys aren't
judging you, and they're
toxic.
trying to see like, is this guy actually good? Blah blah blah. So I mean, it doesn't get like, I'd say 10 days of 6 hours every single day. By the end of that, you're like, all right, this chat's kind of starting to bug me a little bit. But after 30
Thanks,
days,
dude.
it really gets annoying. And you'd think like, oh, they're giving you money, they're donating to make fun of you. That's so great. But I don't have the mental strength to do that 6 hours a day every day. It just wears me down. So
Never
you get
expect me
into
to
a
be
lot of
good. That's fair.
situations where a lot of streamers suffer from depression, and they suffer from all sorts of stuff like that because they're just talking so much and putting so much of themselves out there, and they don't really get anything back when they do that. Like there's no, like when you have a conversation with someone, they input to you directly, you can see them, you talk with them, you bounce off one another, and there's that interaction. When it's just you talking and pouring your soul out to the internet, you don't get anything back really.
Ex-
So then you
Except
get
the occasional baby rage, maybe. Like if you pour
right,
your
yeah,
soul out, right?
you just get like a bunch of like these text comments and memes, and no one's taking it seriously, which is fine. They're not supposed to. It's the internet. But then after that, you're too tired to want to go out and talk and do stuff and go out drinking or anything like that because you just spent all day streaming and talking, that you just want to lay down and watch movies or whatever. And then you fall into this cycle where you're just like, you wake up every day, you spend all of your social energy on streaming and making videos, and then you go to sleep or watch movies, and you don't actually end up interacting with a lot of people outside of that because that streaming uses up the same part of you that you use for interacting with people on a daily life. It's just like that same social energy.
Hey, thanks
Because
for
you ever
following.
talk
Why are
to a
you
bunch of
following this
people
shit?
like at some like
Don't watch the
trip or
stream
some
right now.
family trip, for example, and you
I'll
talk with
close
your
the
family
stream.
every day the entire trip, and then by the end of it you're like, oh, I just need a break,
And
I
they're
don't
probably
want to
not
talk to
even
these
watching.
people anymore.
Yeah.
Like you get that feeling after streaming, and you just don't want to talk to anybody, and you start falling into a cycle. And I don't know, tons of streamers suffer from it. Like so many
Following a
streamers
YouTube
have
video?
found
Yeah,
they
go
just
subscribe to the
overwork
YouTube video.
themselves.
What the fuck?
And then that turns into eventually you get burned out on the game because you're just playing the game constantly every day, and then you don't enjoy the game anymore. So then you don't enjoy the game, you stopped talking to all your current friends so you could commit to this, and all you do is lay around and watch movies. And then you start suffering from depression, and that happens to like every streamer at some point in their streaming career. And figuring out a way to balance that appropriately, it's a bit tricky, but it can be done.
So
Holy
okay,
shit.
yeah, that's
Well, I
really
mean, never to-
interesting. That's really interesting because um that's something that I definitely have thought of and thought about a lot. And I think um I've been really careful about not falling into that kind of cycle. Like that's very 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 bad. If you sacrifice like your normal daily activities to stream, and then all you do when you're done streaming is like you said, like lay down and watch movies, that's a fucking horrible life. The thing is, I'm not as popular, yeah, obviously, but like even if I had zillions of viewers, like I would still take a day off. I would still take um the time to like recoup mentally when you do this. Like you have to understand. I mean, I think the biggest problem is a lot of people don't understand what streaming takes out of you because they're not self-aware enough. Maybe they just they fall into this thing where they just don't think about it. They just feel obligated, right? They feel obligated to show up, and for longer and longer and longer. You see this a lot too. Like I've seen streamers grow, and they feel obligated to stream more longer hours. They start doing 24-hour streams. They start doing like ridiculous, like, you know, fucking a month and a half, like every single fucking day they're streaming, and then the one day they want to take off, like they apologize and they feel bad and they're like, oh, I'm really sorry guys, I have to take like some time off. And it's like, what the fuck, man? Like, get your fucking life in order. Like, you should have a day off, like every week, at least one. um After working on wanting to see talk anyone, yeah, that's true, but there's ways to mitigate that. There's ways to focus your energy in a specific way so that doesn't happen, or you can alleviate that problem. Mostly, I mean, it's really important to have like a good support structure. Uh, it's important that your friends understand what you're doing, and I think that's a big problem with streaming too. Is a lot of a lot of people still don't really understand what the fuck streaming is. So if you say like, "Oh, guys, like if you have like a group of friends, you're like, "Guys, I'm a streamer now." And they're like, "Okay, like I don't care." Right? Like having people that are willing to support you and help you like um and understand like your schedule, you know, it's like, "Oh, well, you know, I can't hang out because I'm going to be streaming and shit." Um and if they want to work around that with you, that helps a lot too. Like having figuring out people that can work in your social life. That's also why like a lot of streamers date other streamers, right? You see that a lot happen too, because those are the only people that understand. Those are the only people that fucking understand what the fuck you're going through, right? And then, um, I mean, for sure, right? Yeah, like, clearly this coming from a place where he's like completely fucking burnt down on it, right? Which is completely fucking understandable. That is completely understandable. Which is what I was saying earlier, right? Like a lot of people get really fucking depressed and get really burnt out. Because it's if you don't know how to balance your own life, like I've already done this, not streaming. Not that my stream's ever gonna be like truly successful, right? There's like no fucking way. But I already know how to balance my life because I've been self-employed for years now. So I know, like, I already went down that depression spiral without actually making any money, right? Like, where I was just working and I wasn't hanging out with anyone because I was just like sitting in my room. And then when I got done with working, I would just like lay down in my bed and be like, "Fuck my life." And then I would get up again and my computer's right there. I can do more work and I can make more money. So let me just do that. And I got in this like really really um horrible cycle where I was stuck like working in this terrible fucking situation, right? Um and so like I've learned how important it is to have like work life balance. It's incredible, especially if you're self-employed, especially if your work happens in the same place that you derive entertainment from. Like if your work is happening at your computer and that's where you also like are diverted and have fun. It's really 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 important to have like that balance where you have to step away, or like one thing you can do if you have the money or the space is separate, like have a separate workstation to work on and a separate workstation for entertainment. You can do that kind of stuff. Yeah, I mean it's very easy to become a workaholic when you work from home. um because there's no reason not to. There's no reason not to. Like you get up, your computer's right there. Especially if it's something that's rewarding, like streaming, where people will like, you know, literally just hand you money. Um, and it's really rewarding in that sense. Like, why wouldn't you just not turn your stream on when you get up and then turn it off when you go to bed. Like, you could just do that, right? Oh, why not? And it's like people don't realize the actual fucking strain, like the mental strain that takes. Yeah, I mean, it is something they underestimate because it, like, on the surface it seems very like easy and fun to do, and it's actually very very difficult, right? It's very difficult to maintain a positive outlook when you drown yourself in constant work. So it's really important to just like step away. If people don't understand that, it doesn't matter. You might make less money, you know, because the people that demand you to be there every day, I don't want those people as fans, you know? Sure, that probably is like suicide for my stream, right? But I don't care. Like, it's not worth it. It's not worth sacrificing that. Yeah, exactly. Like if your thing is like, because that happens for a lot of streamers too, right? Their way of unwinding, their way of releasing stress has always been video games, which is why they're good at them and why they want to play them all the time. And then all of a sudden it's your job, and so you no longer have that valve where, you know, you get off a day of work and you go play video games. Like, if you get off a day of playing video games, the last fucking thing you want to do is play more video. And I know that because not only have I worked in the game industry, but like, you know, I've done streaming for years already. Like, I'm not, you know, not seriously, not I haven't done it seriously until like this month, right? But I've been streaming since 2011, like very very off and on. And the last thing you want to do when you end your stream is um play more video games. Yeah, I might clip this for the YouTube. Yeah. Um. Yeah, the very last thing you want to do is play more video games when you're done streaming, because you just did it for like 6, you know, even 4 hours. Like, you play 4 hours of video games on stream. It's really fucking draining. Why would you do that to yourself? More, right? Working out is a good way to run. Yeah, yeah. That's true. I should exercise more for sure. That would help a lot. That would help. And like the other thing too is getting sun. Like, getting vitamin D is so fucking important. And like, more than just taking vitamin D supplements, is like actually being out in the world and in the sun and getting fresh air is like tremendous for the like your mental health and your ability to function as a human. It's actually really, really, really important. And if you stay locked in a room in the dark for days at a time, you're gonna end up in a horrible, horrible place mentally. That's guaranteed. Guaranteed for anybody. The streaming because they're typically the person who never leaves their room. Yeah, I mean, exactly. But like, there's a difference between not leaving your room and doing fun shit, right? Like, I've done that for long periods of time where I just like, oh, I'm not gonna leave my room and like watch YouTube or like watch streams or watch movies or watch Netflix, right? It's very very different when that becomes work. When that turns into work, where um your outlet for making money, which is what I was talking about before, like your outlet for making money is your computer that's right there next to your bed, and you just get up and you sit at your computer and you're like, well, why am I not just making money right now? And that becomes like a very very toxic mindset very very quickly, where you end up in a horrible place where you're constantly grinding at something that you end up really really hating. So it's really important to like maintain levity, I think. That's what I would say to any streamer or anybody who wants to stream, is like, make sure you maintain your levity. Make sure like you're still doing something fun, like at some point in the stream. Like, this right now for me is very fun. Like, I like to just talk about shit that I think about a lot. And I do that a lot on stream. Like, I'll stall my stream to tell a story or talk about like something philosophical. You know, like, I've done that before. I've completely stagnated my stream, like content wise, right? Like, I'm just not playing the game anymore just so I can tell a weird story about how I was banging two girls at the same time, right? Like, that happened, right? Um, I think it's really important to like maintain the things that you like about the content you want to make, as opposed to giving people the content that you think they want, right? If you just give people the thing they ask for, I mean, it's like there's that Henry Ford quote. What is it? If you asked people what they wanted in a car, they would have said, "We want a faster horse," right? You have to give people what's actually good, not what they think they want. So, you know, the people that end up liking my content are going to end up liking me having these types of conversations, right? Like, the people that stick around are going to be the ones that want to hear me talk about more in-depth topics and not just play a video game and like be quiet, right? Like, no one wants to watch. I'm not good at video games, right? I'm not particularly good. I'm probably above average, but I'm not particularly good at any game. No one will ever come to my stream to watch me be like a skillful fucking god, right? So my hope is to build an audience that maybe, even if it's really small, even if it's like the 10 of you watching this right now, right? If I can build a group of people that want to talk to me about interesting topics, that would make me very happy. And I think that's really important. I think it's really important to make sure that the content you're making you're happy about. And that's another thing too. Like, speaking of that, from a streamer standpoint, a lot of streamers don't watch their VODs. A lot of streamers just put stuff out there and they never ever ever watch, and they're never self-critical about what's happening. Like, they don't go back and see like what went well or what didn't go well in their stream. And that's a very 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 bad thing. If you're not, you don't have to watch the entire, like, if you stream for like, I'm approaching 7.5 hours. I'm not gonna watch 7.5 hours of the stream, right? But I'm probably gonna watch 30 minutes to an hour somewhere in the middle to see like where my head was at, you know? Where my head was at when I stopped remembering what the fuck happened in the stream. A lot of people, like, YouTubers will edit their videos and then just ship them. And then you notice like these drastic editing mistakes that if they had even watched their video once, never should have pushed, right? But they feel like they're on such a time crunch to get content out. And streamers in the same way, right? They just have to get the most amount of time they can pack in a day is streaming, and then that's it. And then they don't watch any of the content they make. And I think that's very, 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 very negative, because you can literally never, ever improve the content you make if you don't fucking know what you're putting out there. Like, if you're not watching the content you make, how the fuck do you know what you're putting out there for people, you know? So it's like, if you go over your homework just that once, or your exam or whatever, just the once, to like make sure that your thoughts are cohesive, then you can drastically improve. Maybe not for that exam, right? If you ran out of time on the exam and you're just like glancing over it and you're like, oh well, I could have said that better. The next time you're gonna do better. And that's always what you should do, is never focus on, you're always cringe when you watch your VODs. Good, you should. You should feel awful. Every VOD you watch, you should feel fucking horrible until you don't anymore. Because that's when your content starts getting good. When you stop cringing at your VODs, that's when your content is actually starting to get good. That's very, very important. It's very, very important. That feeling is a very, very useful thing to latch onto, to figure out what you're doing right or wrong. Yeah, I mean, you'll get used to that. You'll get used to hearing your voice. I fucking hate my voice. I have a, like, genetic defect that makes my my tongue can't move around in my mouth correctly. And I'm very, very aware of it. And when I listen to my voice, it makes me really upset, right? But I've gotten used to it. I still don't like it, but I've gotten used to it from listening to literally hours and hours and hours of content that I've made over the last like years and years and years, right? You just get you figure out a way to be okay with it for long enough that you can tolerate, and then self criticize the actual content as opposed to like the things you hate about yourself, which is good to separate too, right? Like once you learn to separate the things you hate about yourself versus the content you're making, right? Objectively, the content you're making without you in it, like without the like what you perceive yourself as, that's when you can really start improving the kind of stuff you make. You can really drastically accelerate the quality of the things that you make.